Tonight, a dying man adamantly maintains his innocence 24 years after his arrest for the kidnapping and presumed murder of 18-year-old Heidi Allen. From behind the prison walls of Coxsackie Correctional, Gary Thibodeau appears physically exhausted, and he has nearly exhausted his chances for winning a new trial. The kidnapping of Heidi Allen on Easter Sunday, 1994, instantly grabbed the attention of the Oswego County community and beyond. The posters went up. There was a thirst to find whoever was responsible for her disappearance without a trace. 2 brothers arrested, but only 1 convicted in separate trials. 4 years ago, new information surfaced that led to a hearing and revived hope for Thibodeau to get a new trial. Witnesses came forward after hearing stories over the years that pointed to 3 other men who might be responsible. The lower court rejected Thibodeau's arguments. 2 levels of appeals led to narrowing decisions, but still not enough to favor Gary Thibodeau being granted a new trial. Right now, that same Court of Appeals has been asked to hear a re-argument of Gary Thibodeau's case. In the last few days, the Oswego County District Attorney urged that court to deny that request and keep this man in prison, who had been found guilty by a jury of his peers. From the beginning, the searching.
We have an 18-year-old girl by the name of Heidi Allen.
The public pleas for help.
Thy will be done, on earth as it is
The
in
praying for the return of Heidi Allen.
My client have an opportunity to.
Gary Thibodeau looked to the community like a man capable of the kidnapping of an 18-year-old store clerk. How are you doing?
It's terrible. It gets worse every day. Anybody thinks this is fun and glory, it's crazy. I wouldn't do 24 years of this shit if I was guilty.
Now in hospice care at the Regional Medical Unit of Coxsackie Correctional, Gary Thibodeau is less than 3 months from turning 65. Can you explain to me what you've missed out on by being in here all these years?
I missed my whole life.
This is the first we've seen Gary Thibodeau since his health sharply deteriorated. Just 2 years ago, he looked 20 years younger.
I'll confess to being innocent.
Since then, he's come up short on 2 appeals, the last before the state's highest court in a narrow 4-3 decision. Were you disappointed when you heard that this latest court ruling was close, but you didn't make it?
None of this stuff surprises me.
24 years after his arrest, Gary has not wavered in proclaiming his innocence. He says Oswego County charged him because his brother Dick told police he bought cigarettes that morning at the D&W.
They tried to indict Dick on this without somebody else. They couldn't get an indictment.
Gary Thibodeau is familiar with witness statements describing a man that maybe looked like him that morning, but he says he was home sleeping. That wasn't you.
No, it wasn't me. I wasn't there. They didn't see me there.
Did you know Heidi at all?
I met her once.
Over the years, Thibodeau has grown tired of repeated questions from reporters asking, "Did you kidnap Heidi?" Why does that make you mad when people ask that question?
It's so friggin' rhetorical and ridiculous. You all know well I had nothing to do with this.
How are you doing on hope these days?
On the what?
Hope.
Hope? It's a funny word. I had so many medical problems with me. No matter if they let me free or not. This ain't no life existence.
He does hope he dies sooner rather than later. He's at peace with his life. You believe in God?
Oh, I believe in a creator. No, you call him God, whatever you want to call him. But I believe in a creator.
What's he saying?
Well, everything is done for a reason. Damn if I know the reason. I have no idea, but...
Thibodeau has a final message about the kidnapping. If you look up at me and look at that camera, what would you like the court and the prosecutors to know?
I didn't do it. They know I didn't do it. Had nothing to do with it. The Oswego County District Attorney, Gregory Oakes, does not believe Gary Thibodeau's story.
Oakes was a college student 24 years ago, but he's carried on this case through these recent appeals as Oswego County's lead prosecutor. He told me this today: "I believe the facts put forth in Gary Thibodeau's trial are still accurate today. I do believe Gary Thibodeau is responsible for the kidnapping and presumed death of Heidi Allen. I do believe Gary Thibodeau was involved and knows ultimately what happened to her." Now, tomorrow night, we'll hear from Richard Thibodeau, Gary's brother, who returns with us to the scene of the kidnapping, where he bought 2 packs of cigarettes that Easter Sunday morning. You can watch all these stories and read an in-depth article on our visit with Gary Thibodeau in prison by going to our website, cnycentral.com.